Yo, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back in the building one more again. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. Yours truly had an awesome day. It was a kind of a long one, but got through it. Salute to everybody. Want to shout out to Black Comic Lords, Black Superheroes Forever fam. Glad you guys are here. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So, a lot going on. We're not going to belabor the point. We're not going to delay the time. But I do want to, just kind of get into the weekend or whatever. So the weekend was a chill weekend. I got a chance to watch a little bit of, Cape Crusader. That was cool. You know what I'm saying? My thoughts on it, I guess it's okay. Um, Batman, the animated series, I don't know if that's going to trump that. I mean, it's cool for what it was. And, again, that's just my thoughts on it. It's okay. So, but I'm glad to see, Batman, on a big screen, a little screen or whatever. I'm always happy to see Batman for sure. So, but other than that, let's see, what else did I do this weekend? Man, I tried to get a little rest. It was a long week. It's very hot down here in Fort Worth. And we've been hovering 105, 103, 105 every day. And so it looks like it's not going to slow down for a while. But I will be definitely glad to see some cooler weather come late September, early October. So the day was an awesome day. Got a chance to preach and teach. Kind of wore myself out, to be honest. And then I had some shenanigans going on with my car. I left the house with a flat tire. So I'm like, okay. So I had to go back home, had to grab the wife's whip, drove to church, ministered, talked, came back home, picked her up, went back and preached some more. So yeah, it was an interesting day. So but I'm glad I got through it, you know what I'm saying? Got a chance to just chill, got a real good nap. Sunday naps are amazing. I don't care what anyone says. You have not lived until you've had a Sunday nap. Sunday afternoon naps are awesome. And so, yeah. But anyway, I want to say what's going on to the chat. Mawan, what's going on? Smooth Approach, what up? My man, JT, what's going on? Alfred Page, appreciate you. Amani, what up? What up? Azure Beast, what's good? Tron World, that's what's up. So anyway, before we get into the shenanigans tonight, please like, share, subscribe. Since you're walking in, wipe your feet on the carpet, you know what I'm saying? Hit the like button and click those notifications to let you know when we go live. So like we're doing now. So hopefully we're live on Twitter as well, or other platforms or whatever. So yeah, it's about to go down. So anyway, I am going to approach tonight's low-hanging fruit topic with a little bit of chill. I'm gonna be chill. What's going on, Atlantic Comic Con? Can't wait to be there in a couple of weeks. It's going down. So, yeah, man, let's get into tonight's show. Low-hanging fruit, that is a segment of our show where we talk about the news. And we got some news for y'all tonight. So we're gonna start tonight's with a CBR article, I'm sorry. Jonathan Majors heartbroken over Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the MCU. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and while news has many fans feeling excited, one former actor of the franchise has been left heartbroken. Jonathan Majors was originally set to return as Kang in the fifth Avengers movie, shared his emotional reaction to the film shifting its focus to Downey's Doctor Doom. Along with news that Downey would play Doctor Doom, it was revealed that the fifth Avengers film had been officially retitled Avengers Doomsday. That officially put a cap on shutting out Majors Kang from the sequel, which was originally announced with the title Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Majors addressed his thoughts on Downey's MCU return, and it seems to be a bitter pill to swallow for the actor. When asked if he was feeling hurt by the new direction Marvel was taking, Majors responded, yes, heartbroken, of course. Come on, yeah, of course. I love him. I love Kang. Dr. Doom is wicked, though. But Majors also was asked about other actors like Downey and Miller, Ezra Miller, who had been arrested for felonies and still starred in major roles. As the crimes Majors was convicted was a misdemeanor, the Loki actor was asked if he found it unfair that he lost his role in the MCU. For his part, Majors said he finds it very fair for Downey and Miller to be treated with respect and continue to work in Hollywood. He also pointed out that he doesn't know why he can't be afforded the same treatment. You know, going on to say that he still would love to return as Kang one day if the fans want to see it. He says, I think it's fair that Mr. Downey is being greeted with patience, curiosity, love, and that Mr. Miller has gotten the same treatment and that they're allowed to work their art and be creative at that level. I really don't get that, Majors lamented. When asked why that might be, Majors could only mutter, I don't know. It seems clear at this point, though, that Marvel Studios won't be calling back Majors, who was found guilty of assault and harassment related to a March 2023 incident revolving his then girlfriend. However, Majors still has love for his MCU role, and he hasn't shut the door on returning one day. He was asked about his interest in reprising his role as Kang, and Majors gushed over the possibility, expressing that he would love to do it for the fans and if Marvel Studios wants to see it happen. He says, Kang, hell yeah. Yeah, I would love it. I love him. That's why I said I love Kang. I love He Who Remains. Love him. If that's what the fans want, then that's what Marvel wants. Let's roll. So here's the cool thing about life, because life be life in y'all. We joked about the situation that Jonathan Majors was going through, and we had our, we had our laughs. I say it like that. Now the laughter is kind of over and died down. Life has kind of moved on, and it seems like for Marvel, they have moved on away from the Kang Dynasty, whatever. And I'm disappointed that we're not going to get to see the Kang Dynasty because, for the simple fact that one, you gave it to us through the Loki series. The Ant-Man Quantumania, that was whack. Could have kept that Marvel, but okay. But was looking forward to seeing the Kang Dynasty on the big screen. But yet, for whatever reason, this situation happened, and Marvel, I think, prematurely jumped the gun and let Jonathan Majors go. And let's just be honest. Jonathan Majors is a black man. Jonathan Majors is a black man in a white world. And Marvel has not been 100% gracious when it comes to their black actors. Somebody go check on Don Cheadle and see if he's still excited about the MCU, because they did away with Armor Wars. So I don't know. I mean, the situation with Chadwick Boseman, Marvel not recasting the role. We can kind of go on and on when it comes to blackness in the MCU. So we're looking at all of y'all with a side eye. So, it is what it is. So for me, I'm disappointed, hurt for this brother, because he really, really seems like he really wanted this to be a big thing. For us fans, whatever. I don't know if we have the, I'm not gonna say if we have the stomach. I don't know if we have the heart to want to see Kang. Most of our heart is really set on T'Challa returning. Do we have enough room for Kang? Do we have enough room to press the issue about Marvel bringing back Jonathan Majors to do Kang. They've kind of moved on. The whole situation with Doom has been kind of, that's the direction that they're going. And the crazy part is they're literally setting up the comics to reflect this. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so, if you guys really want to see Kang, hit Marvel up. Y'all troll Marvel. Don't troll me. Y'all troll Marvel. Ask Marvel to bring Kang back. Ask Marvel to bring Jonathan Majors as Kang back. Because he got railroaded. He did. And there's no getting around it. I would like to see him, in his role, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. It is what it is, guys. So we got a super chat for our first super chat for the night. Tron World says, I've been loving them Sunday naps since the 70s. That's what's up. Thank you for the super chat.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, my man, Tron World says, please understand that it's a part of the comics gate keeping process. Look how long it took for Marvel to do anything with the Wesley post-prison release. DC and Image do it as well. And my man, shout out to DJ Bigfield, 33 and the third media says, Kang was never the answer. Bad choice for a big bag in the first place, regardless of who played. I did like Major's portrayal, but still wasn't the villain I wanted. Zell Ray says, Jonathan Majors would make a cool John Stewart, Green Lantern. Scott Caesar says, that Snow Bunny had Kang 100 miles and running. Yo, y'all gonna stop. Azul Beast asked the question, what villain would have been better than? It's interesting that when they went with Kang, I thought it was an interesting choice. I kind of thought that they would have gone Galactus earlier in the MCU, but they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because Thanos kind of took up a lot of time as far as being a big bad, bringing Thanos along. I mean, it was literally 10 movies or however many it was before they actually introduced Thanos into the movie set. You know what I'm saying? He was always kind of lingering in the background up to that point, but no one was really, I wouldn't say feeling Kang, but no one was really wanting Kang. It was almost as if we didn't ask for this, but at the same time, well, since it's here, let's try to enjoy it. And don't get it twisted. He was a good character in the Loki series. The Ant-Man Quantumanium, not so much. Not so much. Shout out to Jonathan Majors. I hope he lands on his feet. And if he doesn't get a job at Marvel, maybe DC or one of the independents that's doing something on the big screen can hire him because he's a good guy. Everybody makes mistakes, and in this situation, I don't think he did anything wrong. But maybe it was wrong place, wrong time, wrong woman. Either way, he can bounce back. You know what I'm saying? If Ezra Miller is able to star in a major role, yeah, you can bring back Jonathan Majors. Stop playing with us. But anyway, yeah. What's going on, Pericles? Sorry I'm late, currently at a cousin's birthday dinner. That's all good, brother. Glad you're here. Yeah. So, next article. Bleeding Cool article. Comic creators react to Colin Kaepernick's AI comics generator Lumi. Yesterday, Bleeding Cool, or the day before this article was written, Bleeding Cool covered Colin Kaepernick's $4 million campaign raising funds for this AI comics generator Lumi. But what a difference a day makes, because now the creators are weighing in. It says here, yesterday we covered Colin Kaepernick's announcement of Lumi, a new AI service that will generate comics. It has not gone down well. It says here, in quote, Lumni's pitch is that most people aren't equally proficient at every aspect of making and selling a book, and that AI can fill in those gaps. For instance, if a writer can't draw, Lumni can produce illustrations. Or if a comic artist has a story idea but struggles with dialogue, Lumni can help compose the words for their book. Colin Kaepernick was at San Diego Comic-Con and was seen in Artist Alley. It is probably safe to say that his reception would have been a little different if this story had had wider play before the Comic-Con. A lot of artists have commented and have gone in on Colin. Derek, can you put the link of that article in the chat? But I'm going to just bring up a couple of comments. There's a lot of people went in. J.A. Williams says, disgusting. As someone who experienced marginalized himself, I would have thought he'd know better. I am now expecting those investors will lose all of the money that they put in. Sherlyn Eaton of Black Panther Blood Hunt fame says, if you think Black artists are going to support AI robbing them not only of career opportunities, but also the work they've already produced just because you've thrown up a Black figurehead, one has nothing to do with comics, mind you, you are crazy. Bruno Redondo says, sorry, Colin, but you understood nothing about creation and art. AI is stealing. Joe Glass says, this is absolute opposite of freeing creators. It literally endangers the livelihood and hardworking creatives in favor of lazy charlatans. This is actively causing harm to creators. Rob Williams says, it's time to steal from actual creators who put decades of hard work into honing their craft. You're going to want to rework that first line at Kaepernick 7. Joshua Dysart says AI scraps and steals the work of real artists to profit AI platform investors. AI art is mass plagiarism. It's meant to devalue professionals and their art. But as long as you get that paper, am I right? What are you doing, man? This is another profit grab dressed in BS, noble rhetoric. Think of all the actual artists and writers you could have paid to tell their stories. But you know that profit exists in controlling the platform for creation, not in creation itself. But Kari Randolph's commentary, I think, is the last one on here, but probably the most interesting. To be clear, I was one of a number of artists that had meetings with Colin a few months ago. He told me broadly what his AI platform was about. He mentioned that it was about removing gatekeepers and how he wanted to benefit people from the underserved walks of life. I told him while I was a fan of his, I could not support this because gatekeepers were people like me who had put our blood, sweat, and tears into our craft. Hard work, pencil, and paper is all you need to make comics. I let him know that his product was going to hurt us long term. So if anyone is asking whether Colin Kaepernick is aware of his misgivings artists have with AI, please believe me, he has been made aware. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only one who did so. Wow. Okay. Now, let me just say this in respect to everybody's commentary about this situation. First and foremost, I am not an artist. I am an artist, an essayist. I'm also a theologian. I'm also a scholar. I also recognize that AI is in everything. I also recognize that AI is theft. when we talk about on an artist level. AI has been great for technology reasons. It's been great in regards to robotics. It's been great in regards to the medical professions. As someone who is in seminary and has gone to college, we are used to kind of AI policing us. We write papers. Our papers go through a filter process by AI to figure out whether or not we have plagiarized. And if you plagiarize your paper, you fail. You don't get a good grade. In some cases, you get kicked out of school. So they know that there's plagiarism is a problem. Now the question is AI plagiarism? I believe that in many cases, in regard to the art, it is. Because if you're taking someone's concept, ideas, style, or whatever, and trying to morph it into creating quote unquote something new, that's one thing. But if you're literally mimicking it, that's a totally different thing. Totally different thing. So for me, I'm hoping that he gets the revelation that he's on the wrong side of this in regards to the artist. He probably at some point he's got graphic novel out, as a matter of fact, but he's probably going to want to work with some of these artists. And they're not going to want to work with him because they know that he's using AI material. He's got a generator. He's literally doing something that's going to cut artists out. Here's the danger of this thing. The danger of this thing is the fact that, okay, if it gets out and it becomes accepted, quote unquote, that means other artists are going to do it. That means certain people are going to do it. And then some artists won't get work. That's at the end of the day, that's what it means. I don't necessarily like it. I don't necessarily hate it. I just, because I'm not an artist. I don't know what that quote unquote feels like. Now I understand when people steal styles and people biting stuff. That's what hip hop used to be about. It was frowned upon. Now imitation is the highest form of flattery these days. All the rappers sound the same. But in this situation, I just think that he's just on the wrong side of this, and that at some point he will get it right. I want us to extend grace, and so he can self-correct or course-correct. If that happens, great. If it doesn't, then it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But I am not at the point of wanting to, like, quote-unquote cancel Colin Kaepernick for obvious reasons. This guy has done a lot for his community. And while this here is not good, I do understand. So, and especially if he's had conversations with Carly Randolph and others, that this is not the way to go, and he's still thinking that this is the way to go. And here's the thing about Colin. Colin is not someone that does a lot of commentary or communicate. So we may not hear nothing from Colin about this. He'll just put his head down, do what he's doing, and not even think about it. He may just completely ignore everybody. He's got a reputation for that, unfortunately. When all the stuff was going down with the NFL and whether players should be able to kneel and that kind of thing, people had a lot to say, but Colin barely said 2 words. It is what it is, y'all. I just hope that he gets a clue. Sometimes we can all have blinders. I just think he's got blinders on right now. As someone who loves and appreciates art, I don't want a Dennis Cowan styled art. I want Dennis Cowan art. Does that make sense? So y'all really try to, help our brother see the error of his ways. I can only offer commentary in regards to that. I don't, I could say, well, I stand with the artist and this, that, and the third, but standing with the artist sometimes, that's great. It's beautiful. I support the art. I support the craft, that kind of thing. I don't want to close the door on that dude. I want to see where he goes. I want to see how things kind of develop. This is still early in the game. Now, he was in San Diego Comic-Con in Artist Alley, and if some people knew what was going on, they might not have rocked with him or messed with him like that. It could have probably got real ugly. However, we're kind of here now, so I don't know. What is some of our? Let's get some of our comments and see what you guys are thinking about this. So Gordon says Kaepernick's concept is not good for the industry, but honestly, it was not him. It would have been someone else. That part, Gordon, I think that that's the truth. And I honestly think that this is probably something they probably wanted a crash test dummy to kind of set it off. Now they got one. No bueno. Gordon says, I understand Kyrie's Randolph spoke to Colin at San Diego Comic-Con and told him it was not a good idea. Yeah. C. Cole says, guess what? I wasn't good at art. Guess what I did? Taught myself to draw before I got into art school. Yeah. My man, 33 and third media says, y'all saw my post where I stand on this mess. It's crazy to think he wants people to make comics who aren't talented enough to make comics and to say those with talent are gatekeepers. It's crazy. It's a little ridiculous. I think it's short-sightedness. He's clearly somebody that's not has not been an industry guy, a comic book guy. Because there's no way if you're fans of somebody's art that you grow up and all of a sudden you say, you know what, I want to take what that person did, I want to make it my own, and I want to put out books because I want to remove the gatekeepers. That's crazy. I mean, I thought we would never live in a day where we would see hard-working artists be considered gatekeepers in the industry. If the artists are the gatekeepers, what a Marvel and DC. I'm just saying. The Seco says the 33 and the third media said, I think he meant the racist of gatekeeper. However, it doesn't stop them. Cap would have been better starting his own company and hiring folks. Well, that's what some people have said, that you could have took that $4 million or whatever and hired some artists and put your books out. That definitely would have worked. I think here's the thing, guys. I honestly think somebody's in his ear. I don't necessarily know if this is all 100% Colin Kaepernick. He's the face of it, but somebody's in his ear. Seco says, I've tried AI art and it doesn't work. I can draw what I want, but AI can't make it. Tried a prompt 200 times and only one drawing came close to what I wrote once. I mean, and see, here's the thing too. People are talking about the picture or the artistry of it. He also mentioned that no one's really talking about the writing side of it. A lot of people use Chat GPT to help them write stuff, and that's the thing. That's just as damaging as the art itself, because Chat GPT, while it may quote unquote good, it's not something that a scholar or a person that's going to college and getting a degree and writing papers can do. Chat GPT will get you expelled. So it's one of those things where, no, this is no bueno. H&A says the money's already in. There's no self-correcting that far in a different direction. Yeah. Doommaker says, I never spoke hard on this cause. $4 million is not enough to make something like that pop off nowhere in the immediate future. We're gonna see. I don't know. I don't know what good can come from this. I'll say it like that. I don't know what good could come from this. Even if you are able to help a couple of people who want to be in the industry get on their feet, if I say it like that, the payoff of it is not going to be what I think they think it's going to be. Man, Herschel used to say all the time that we rushing to the bottom. And I asked him one time, what does that even mean? The race to the bottom. I think we on our way. Bruh, can we get it together? Can we please get it together? Dream Fury Comics says, when I first read Kaepernick's statement, I interpret his use of gatekeepers. He was referring to the big publishers and not artists. I mean, again, that goes to show you that he really, I mean, he may not necessarily know what the industry is or what the industry looked like today, because the model for the industry 20 years ago is not the same model as it is today. There are several dozens of different hundreds of small comic book companies. This is not going to hurt Marvel and DC. This is going to hurt independents. This is going to hurt artists that are contractors. This is what this is going to hurt. It's not going to hurt Marvel and DC one iota. It's not going to hurt their pockets. So even if you talk about gatekeeping, what gatekeeping are we talking about? We just had the Epiphany engine raise over $50,000 for a Kickstarter, and have not hundreds, but dozens of independent comic book companies, up to like 60, 70 different creators working on one project. There's lots of people out here doing work. It is what it is. Mr. DC Comics says Kaepernick and kick rocks. H&H says, I'm sorry, Zell Ray says, as an artist / writer, I've had many bad dealers in the past where I'm trying to work with other creators didn't work. Too many opposing ideas / beliefs. So I can understand why AI could eliminate headaches. Yeah. H&H says this will hurt aspiring artists and who need reps and feedback to get better and on their craft. It is also a force of nature at this point. That part. AI is not going anywhere. And until somebody takes it to court and really challenges it, there's going to have to be some policy put in place. Otherwise, it's going to be here. It's not going anywhere. It's technology. It's technology. Charles Stewart III says, if this is the way we're going, we should allow steroids and performance enhancements in sports. Things need to be judged on the same level if we're going to accept this. Here's the thing. I don't think we necessarily accepted it, Charles Stewart. I just think that it's kind of like here. It's a different day in which we're living in. I think that the artists are going to draw a line in the sand and say, no, enough is enough. But until someone is willing to take this to court and someone's willing to say, hey, this is stealing, this is theft, this needs to be done away with, or we can't use it in this regard. We can't use it as an artistic expression. It's going to be here. It's not going anywhere. It has to be challenged. Otherwise, it won't be the popular thing to do. But look at what has happened in the music industry. Music industry, it used to be where an artist would put out an album, and that album would feed an artist for literally over a year to 2 years. One album. Now artists are having to put out song after song after song, or album after album after album. And when they put something out, it's old literally in a matter of weeks. So the industry is going that way. And so again, I never thought we would be at a place where that's what artists would do. But this is where we are. And the music is terrible because it all sounds the same. And the music has no time to grow on you or be with you. It's literally, create, boom, process, boom, give, boom, create, process, boom, over and over and over. And it doesn't have any lasting effect on no one. But that's where we are. Thor says, it seems someone is giving Colin bad advice. thus so creating this backlash. It would have been better if he found a group of talented artists slash writers who put out a good book. Yeah, I think somebody's in his ear. I think someone is in his ear. Now, Amani, I like Amani's comment. He said there are a ton of quote unquote creators who believe art is too high of a hurdle and are going to jump at this. Therein lies the rub. Therein lies the rub. Because there are people that are not 100% pissed off at Kaepernick. There's some that's kind of like, I'm all right with it. Not to say that they are endorsing stealing, but they know that there's good, that good can come from it in terms of using certain things for the art. But again, it's subjective, and that's why it's polarizing. You know, me personally, I love artists. I love the art. I love art. I like seeing someone draw something or write something and it inspires. I don't know if AI art does that. The inspiration that I see AI art all day, every day. On my timeline, on my feed, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook. And that stuff is not inspiring at all. At all. It's literally cut and paste crap, in my opinion. It's nowhere near the artistry or the soul that an artist put in, because art is the human expression. That's the thing that I think everybody needs to understand and know, even with everything, that art itself, writing and drawing, is a human expression. And now you're asking a soulless thing, artificial intelligence, to mimic that. I remember watching Maximum Overdrive by Stephen King. Y'all remember that movie? Y'all remember that movie years ago? Came out where the machines took over, start killing the people. You don't want machines with you don't want machines making too many decisions. I'll say it like that. Yeah, but AI is not going anywhere. Behind the scenes says this is inevitable. Someone will do this for all forms of entertainment. Movie generators, song generators. If not Kaepernick, someone will come through and do this. Yeah. Azale Ray says musicians no longer exist because musical instruments aren't used except for live shows. Everything else is done on keyboards, laptops, and iPhones. Yeah. C. Cole says to Amani Latifi, let's see how long they last. At the end of the day, who is willing to pay for it? That part, C. Cole. But you know what's unfortunate? Somebody is paying these new hip hop artists. I know I ain't one of them, but somebody's paying for it. Yeah. Nightwatch says, this is not deaf. No industry is immune to technology. If this bothers you, stop using electric cars, the internet, ebooks, emails, 3D printing, ATMs, self-checkouts. It seems hypocritical. Again, Nightwatch, I think though I stand by my statement that art is a human expression. It's a human expression. And that's the difference. That's the difference. The technology that produces, it helps us move life along, that's one thing. But the art, the soul of a person being able to draw, sculpt, mold, and that kind of thing. And yes, there's technology in all of it. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's still a human expression. I don't want AI jazz. I want jazz. And I want guys like Miles Davis, Cannonball Adderley, Tia Fuller to do it. That's me. So, yeah. Not all the same. Yeah. Amani says people missed the part where Randolph said he was offended by the fact he was offered money, which says to me an artist will eventually be offered the bag to get involved. Who stole? Public Enemy one time said, "Who stole the soul?" Somebody didn't steal it. Somebody paid for it. Skia Jones, what's going on, bro? Said, then just buy the original art. Simple. Woo! So that's a big boy comment. That's a big boy comment, brother. Professor Time in the building. That's a big boy comment. That's real talk there. Everybody not gonna do that though. You know that though. Oh, it says wasn't offered. Sorry. Okay, I got you, Imani. So Drew Fury Comics says, I want to hear from Kaepernick, the part of his company that will help with distribution and marketing. It's still early in the game. This just was announced. I don't know how long this is going to quote unquote go, but we'll find out. We'll find out sooner than later. I'll say it like that. But I think quote unquote this could work in some capacity, but not in all capacities. You know, to me, if you do this right, maybe it's best to kind of like try it on a fundamental level. What I mean by fundamental level, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. Don't nobody throw nothing at me, okay? I'm just putting this out there. You know, if you're teaching like technology in schools and that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Offer it as an alternative in terms of that, but to actually put this out, sell it, and people are going to lose money. That's kind of hard to swallow. Mr. DC Comics says, "Night watch, you tripping. AI is going to take away a lot of jobs." It is. It's already doing it. AI is no joke, y'all. They are experimenting with stores right now across the country. Amazon's experimenting with stores right now across the country where you walk into a store and, you know, there's nobody in the store. You just pick the products up and it automatically debits your card. That's going on right now. Big Brother's not only watching, Big Brother's in the business. It is what it is. Kia Jones says, no, I mean, we just need to buy the artist's original work / project and not buy or support the AI work. I got your point. I got what you were saying, bro. But to your point, you know what I'm saying? That's when in my opinion, that's when the demand for original art will become greater, which has the potential of making the artist more money in the long term. If this is where we're going to go or whatever, okay, well, if I want authentic original art, to your point, and you want to buy it and you want to have it because, again, there's going to be a demand for it because everybody's not going to want the sanitized AI type stuff. So that could definitely be, I would say, a response, a positive response. So yeah, so if y'all know my brother, you know, holler at him and tell him, say, hey man, I think you're on the wrong side. You need to rethink this or think it through or whatever. And know that money's been raised and that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Let's just hope that at some point, you know, he understands what this is going to do. I don't want him to be on the bad side of this, even though he's right now he is. But the fallout from it, this is why Jim Lee raised his commission prices. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So Seco says, when do we get our Starship Enterprise? Since Star Trek is that reality where computer does everything and nobody works. Well, you know, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Speaking of which, we're gonna go ahead and move right along. We're gonna put this topic to bed. I don't want to belabor the point. We can talk about this for an hour. I don't want to do that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to commercial break. And as we go to commercial break, I want you to think about true artists. We're gonna feature a commercial break with one such true artist who I cannot imagine somebody trying to copy his art, among others. And so, stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we'll hit you guys with a X-Force and Blood Hunt review Be right back.
This week in Black History, Black Comic Lord celebrates the artistry of Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan is a comic book artist with a flair for naturalism. If I didn't know any better, I thought the brother lived and breathed in brick-walled alleys, inhaling the pollution of the city streets and exhaling with pictures of agony and anguish. You see, it's hard to describe Mr. Cowan's art, so I'm forced to use a ghetto analogy. Dennis Cowan art is like fish and grits. It's not first on the menu, but you're glad you spotted it. Visually, it tastes good and your eyes will be filled. Yes, filled, I say, filled with detail. They say the devil is in the details, but Dennis be like, hold my beer, because the brother crafts scenes and faces where it makes you wonder, did he miss anything? Each panel is filled with action, and though pictures cannot physically move, Dennis Cowan shows and proves that they actually can. From Batman to The Question to the Black Panther and others, Dennis Cowan's art speaks like Terminator X speaks with his hands. That makes him a bad man and worthy to be celebrated. Salute the living legend that is Dennis Cowan, a Black history legend. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, peace.
We back. Speaking of Dennis Cowan, I want you guys to get ready for the Kickstarter or crowdfunded project, Graphic Samurai, Dennis Cowan art. This is something I feel like it's long overdue. Joe Illich was able to make the announcement. This is coming soon. So yeah, this came out of San Diego Comic-Con. I am definitely going to get this because I am a Dennis Cowan fan. Love this stuff that he did with Milestone, of course, and of course the stuff with The Question, Black Panther. We're going to probably get a little bit of all of that in this particular book. And so he's one of the living legends that we have, and we continue to cherish and honor him. And I just do not want to see nobody trying to do Dennis Cowan art on the AI side. No, 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 no. But, you know, going back to the comment about Jim Lee raising his commission prices, you know, supply and demand. You know, if AI art comes in, there's going to be a premium for original artists. If you go back, if you think about the movie I, Robot and how the character that Will Smith was playing had an issue with robots, right? And he has a conversation with one of the robots or whatever, and he tells him, he asks him, can you create a symphony? Can you do this, that, and the third? And, you know, he shows him certain things that he draws because he says he has dreams. This is what the robot was saying, I have dreams. I don't know if we want robots dreaming, but okay. But he makes the point that, you know, that the things that you're trying to be, you're trying to be human. And art is a human expression, period, point blank, period. And so I can understand the technology going this way, but I cannot take the pen out of somebody's hand, writer or graphic artist, and say, hey, we're going to go with this thing over here because it's cheaper. In my opinion, that's cheaping the human expression and the human element that is art. And I don't think we want to do that. So that's my spiel on that. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into the next segment of our show. We're going to talk about a little bit about some comics that came out this week. First book we're going to talk about is X-Force. Just last week, we interviewed Jeffrey Thorne. First book came out for X-Force, issue number 1. Enjoyed it. Action-packed through and through. Man, let me just say this. I'm looking forward to where this book is going. They talked about it on Wednesday night. And, you know, the next issue number 2, is going to be in Wakanda. And but yeah, man, Marvel is playing chess. So in the book itself, there's the Deadpool. He's the guest star in this book. And from what we understand, you know, from what we understand, they're going to be guest stars that will come through every now and then in this book. So he makes a guest appearance in this book. And man, bruh, he gets done kind of dirty, physically and literally. I'll just say it like that. But yeah, I think you guys will enjoy X Force. I think it's a good jump on point. You know, if you're not triggered that Forge used to have a thing with Storm, you should go ahead and pick it up. Forge is the leader of this X Force team, and it's not the same Kill Squad King team that X Force is known for. These are more like, I guess, everybody's on a planetary trip for some reason. So this is what this book is kind of. It's kind of like the Outsiders book that's out, and the old Warren Ellis Planetary book. That's what it. They investigate certain occurrences or whatever. And that's what they're doing in this book. So yeah. So please pre-order your books and put that on your pull list. Jeffrey Thorne is a great guy. He's one of our very own, the Black Comic Lords. Check X Force out. Okay. Yeah. Great read. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thoroughly. It was a fun book. And you know, Jeffrey Thorne talked about a lot of stuff going on with Jon Stewart. And I recommend that you guys go back and listen to that interview if you had not. He talked about some things he wanted to do with Jon Stewart, but he also talked about some things that Jon Stewart had done in the comics that a lot of us may have not been aware of. His power set, you know, who he is, and that kind of thing. Him being an ascended being. Yeah, so that was a dope conversation. It was our last Wednesday wrap up. So yeah. So y'all go pick that up, X-Force, written by a Black writer. Another Black writer, Exceptional X-Force, is going to be written by Dr. Eve Ewan. So I'm looking forward to that when it comes out. So yeah, man, let's see what's going on with the X-Force. I mean, with the X-Men franchise over at Marvel. So Chicago Vegas says, what resonated with me was when Jeff said he has tried to push Black characters and story, and the pushback he received 100% on the interview, and the book is dope. X-Force issue 1. Yep. So yeah, man, y'all go check that out. And so while we're talking about books, let's talk about the end of Blood Hunt. Shout out to Marvel, who ran fades on all our pocketbooks this whole summer. The crossover, the major tie-ins, or the major event is finally over. So yeah, glad that it's over. Very great story. The omnibus for this is going to be amazing when it does come out. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed this particular story, and it would be a Marvel thing to push us into the next thing. It does not stop with those guys. Without giving the story away, everybody knows what Marvel has been doing. And Marvel has been trying to do things to line up in the MCU with the comics, and the comics lining up with the MCU. And so what's getting ready to happen now is Doom is a major character now, of course. You know, the announcement Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday is going to be coming out in 2026, I think it is. Yeah, May 1st, 2026. So to get you guys, you know, feeling about Doom or whatever, Marvel's finna get ready to do a Doom event. And so that's kind of how Blood Hunt ends. And, you know, I'm going to spoil it. Not spoil it, but it is what it is. Doom is now Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah, that's all you need to know. He's about to wreck shop. So I'm not sure how big a crossover this is going to be as far as the event itself, but Doom is going to be at the center of the event. We're getting a new Blade book as well. So that's cool. So I will tell you that if you're getting the last books or whatever, you want to read Blood Hunt issue number 5 first, and then read that book there, Midnight Suns, issue 3. You want to read it in that order. Blood Hunt issue number 5, and then Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns needs to be the last book you read. And you'll understand why when you read the books. But that's what that's going for. So yeah. Yep. So yeah, man, I really enjoyed the Blood Hunt series. Spent a lot of bread, but I enjoyed the story though more than anything. So it was a dope story. I was glad to see a black character take center stage, even though he was influenced or possessed by Varney. It is what it is. But yeah, man, there's some dope stuff getting ready to come out, y'all, in regards to this. Not only the situation with New Blood Hunt, there is a new Moon Knight book that's coming out on issue 0 already came out, Fist of Khonshu. And there's another Moon Knight book that's going to feature different stories from all over the Moon Knight history that's getting ready to come out as well. And Moan says, I broke my wallet this weekend. There's a few books that came out, saying the Nazi Boys #2, issue 2 came out. I'm enjoying that for sure as well. I don't like the fact that they're really cheating us. It's like a 22-page comic, but like 6 pages of its advertising. That's what y'all doing, Dark Horse? Y'all cheating your people trying to advertise your books. If you're going to give us 22 pages of material, it needs to be 22 pages of comic book material, or at least 20 pages of comic book material. Now, my man says, now we just need Marvel or the Marvel Comics or the MCU to give us Old Man Eric. That would be crazy. I would be here for that. I will be here for that. Speaking of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, oh man, I gotta say that the Hollywood facade is so phony. It is so phony. They had people running around believing that Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes did not like each other. They had been people at Patton Oswalt, that's his name. He put it out there that Wesley did not like Ryan Reynolds. Wesley's issues with David S. Goyer wasn't with Ryan. And behind the scenes, they had always been cool, but they weren't best friends or anything like that. But they never had a problem with each other. No. He said he had talked to Wesley in 20 years. So when he got the call, he I need to take the call. And so Blade shows up, or Wesley shows up and plays Blade. In an Old Man Blade book or movie, that would be cool. At this point, Marvel, y'all doing all this pivoting. Why don't y'all take my man's advice and give us Old Man Blade? I would love to read that. I would love to watch that. That would be cool. That would be definitely cool. Styles so serious. I hope that make Reed Richards look like a hater, like hinted in the Doom miniseries years ago. I don't know, man. I want the Fantastic Four to be heroes, bro. I don't want nobody to be. I want them to be real heroes. That's just me. Speaking of which, I did get the Alex Ross Fantastic Four cover I was telling y'all about. This cover is crazy to me. This cover is crazy. And when I read the story of how, because Mr. Fantastic saved a lot of people, he stretched his body to cover so the vampires wouldn't get to certain people. But this image, man, I first saw this, I said, oh man, I got to have this. Yeah, that's a dope book, man. So yeah. So Old Man Blade would be dope. Listen, I talked to my partner Otis, and there's 2 things I wouldn't mind seeing. I would mind seeing Old Man Blade, and I would not mind seeing Old Man T'Challa. I would love to see Old Man T'Challa and Old Man Blade. That would, if they did like an Old Man Blade, Old Man T'Challa team up, oh my goodness. Bruh, I'm buying every book, every variant. That would be crazy. Marvel, y'all need to do right by black characters, bro. Y'all sitting on money. Y'all sitting on money. Stop playing. Stop playing. Yeah, yeah. That would be crazy. Scott sees the old man Blade is coming one way or another. Mahershala Ali is no spring chicken. He gonna be looking like Ellis Boy by the time that movie comes out. I think, real talk, Scott Caesar, I don't think that movie's coming out. I don't think that movie's coming out. I don't think that movie's coming out, and they just don't want to go ahead and say it because in the Black Panther, the Deadpool Wolverine movie, Wesley Snipes' character Blade says there'll be enough. There'll be no other Blade. I think there's something to that. I really do. I just really would like them to just like really stop playing with everybody and say, look, we tried. They done lost two or three writers. They done lost 2 or 3 directors. This is not happening. Now, Reggie Hunter says, Reggie did Old Man T'Challa twice already. No. I'm not talking about no one shot. I'm talking about a long story. I'm like they did Old Man Logan or Old Man Quill. They need to do a run of T'Challa, Old Man T'Challa. I would be here for that. Blurfell said, what about Old Man Black Lightning? No. He old man at this point. He ain't been seen. So yeah, he would be an old man. Yeah. Now I would just give me a regular Black Lightning book, But yeah. Azelle Ray says MCU should just go ahead and make the new Blade film animated like Miles Morales. I would be here for it. Now, Styles of Sears says, why not, Rich? Here's the thing about Black Lightning. The reason why I say they really, they could do it, but it's one of those things where Black Lightning hasn't had the book or the coverage that a Blade or a Black Panther has. It's like the Old Man Logan books. The Old Man Logan books, Old Man Quill books are pretty good. If you've read those series, you know that they're good. There's something to be said about looking at a superhero when they're older because they got all these stories, all of this history and lore behind them. You don't necessarily get that with Black Lightning. You could, but Black Lightning has not been in enough material, in my opinion, to kind of warrant that. You know what I'm saying? They could do it, and I would buy it because it's my guy. But am I really just like going out there wanting to see it? No, not me personally. He said, Old Man Black Vulcan. No, Styles, so serious. Stop playing. Hype Style says, I hope there's a Blade MCU TV miniseries. In the comics, definitely feeling a team up comic series with Old Man Blade, Old Man Panther. Old Man Luke Cage, too, 3 the Hard Way. Well, they did the Timeless book, Old Man Luke Cage. And in fact, the Avengers Twilight. But the Avengers Twilight, the Luke Cage in that book was, bruh, he was he was old. He was like, I'm about to get out of here for real old. He was that old. Okay. That dude did not look good at all. Black cracked severely in that book. So but I would be here for that. Old Man Logan, Old Man Luke, Old Man Blade, Old Man Panther. Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope. Zell Ray says CW emasculated Black Lightning after the first season. The first 2 seasons I thought were okay. What they did was they gave everybody what the popular or what the woke folk want. They wanted more focus on Thunder and Lightning. That's what they did. By the time season 4 ended, it wasn't even about Black Lightning anymore. It was about them. Shout out to Blur Forever for the super chat. He said, you thought about highlighting classic Black Lightning books on your show like Paul highlights Black Panther on his Friday show? I could. I don't necessarily. It's a thought. I'll say it like that. It's a thought. I'll have to think about it. Only because, again, those stories are very old. I wish we had more material because, like, if you could go back and do. I'm not sure where Paul and Mark have left off in terms of their reviewing of Black Panther, but last I remember, they were doing the Christopher Priest run. And so that run is a little bit seasoned. The old Black Panther volume or Black Lightning volumes or whatever, I might do maybe one for Cold Dead Hands, but not the original series. No, I would not do one for the original series. The original series is okay. It's cool for what it was, but it's 70s and it's crazy like a 70s comic book would be with a black character. It is what it is. So thank Okay. Appreciate it. If you're here, please like the video, guys. Appreciate it. Jay Wilkes says they could do a Blade verse, the Hellfire climb and tie into the mutant universe. They could use Sebastian Shaw's heritage to tie him to Dracula and the power of the inner circle. Well, it's interesting what's going on with Dracula now, because the fallout from the Blood Hunt situation is the vampires are daywalkers now. You can thank Dr. Doom for that. So yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. I know we're getting ready to get a Red Band Blade book. I don't know if they're going to tackle that. But yeah. Yeah, y'all stay tuned. Y'all might not be done running the Blood Hunt books. Pericles says, how long do you guys think Marvel will keep Miles Morales a vampire? Not long. Pericles, in my opinion. I don't think it won't be that long. I don't think it'll be that long. Matter of fact, stay tuned for the Miles Morales stuff. I know Black Panther is going to show up in a Miles Morales book here pretty soon. So if you're not collecting Miles, you might want to get the next couple of issues or so, because Black Panther is going to show up in his book. So, and they all have that in common in that they were vampires. So T'Challa, I'm assuming, has been cured. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, guys, we've moved on. If you hadn't figured out the chat talk, so we're just going to talk about what you guys want to talk about, and we'll talk a little bit, then we'll get out the way. Yes, sir. And I don't want to be here too long because I'm going to watch them Thrones season finale tonight. That's what's up. Juan says how they did illuminate the series. They should make a series for Black Lightning, Blade, T'Challa, Luke Cage, Falcon. They could explain why Black Lightning has been gone so long. The series can be Obsidian Order. Zell Ray says if DC was smart, they'd open a major storyline with Cyborg, Black Lightning, John Stewart, Vixen, and Bronze Tiger. Kevin Pitt says they definitely have to address the Daywalker thing. And hey, what's up, Rich? What's going on, Kevin? Salute. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see them do something, the DC characters together in the book. But everything is about who's in the room. I do not know who was in the room with Reginald Hutton when he did Black Panther and he was able to put all the black superheroes in. Whether you're talking about his run earlier, I think it was Black Panther 21 or whatever it was with Blade, Luke Cage, and Dr. Voodoo. But clearly, they have no one like that over at DC, which is unfortunate. They don't have that kind of person right now at Marvel, I don't believe. But we do have 2 black writers on the X-Men titles. And so are we going to see more black X-Men characters? I don't know. But what I do know is that it wouldn't hurt to see Bronze Tiger, Vixen, Black Lightning, John Stewart, Green Lantern, Joe Mullen, whomever in a team up. Bring in Karen Beecher, Bumblebee, Mal Duncan. They got lots of superheroes. Do something. Take Tyrock off the show. Dust him off. So, yep. Gomahan says, I truly enjoyed the Blood Hunt finale. Looking forward to continuing storylines they introduced. Yep. It's going to be some dope books, man. But like I say, Doom is up next. Y'all getting ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Yep. DC put out their October solicits. DC goes all in, and it's pretty white, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. it's not a lot of black people in the books, so I'm not sure what DC is doing. I've heard some things, but we'll like I said, I just heard some things. We're just gonna say stay tuned. Hype Style says, whenever this new DC reboot comes out, I want to see Christopher Priest write one of the big 7 Justice League heroes. He hasn't written anything DC since Superman lost. He needs to come back now. Well, what's interesting? I read the Superman Lost book, and I heard that it was nominated for an Eisner. And I thought that was like, when I heard that it was nominated for an Eisner, I was like, wow. I mean, I thought it was good, but not Eisner good. You know what I'm saying? It's a different story on Superman. It's a different take on Superman in regards to the story itself. But I just did not think it was that powerful, that compelling, or whatever. I enjoyed it thoroughly, most definitely. But the thing about Priest, I like Priest, but sometimes he's missed, because I feel like he missed on the Black Adam story that he did. I think the Black Adam story was not that good. It was okay at the beginning. They introduced both, fine, but overall, that story, I really did not. It didn't grab me. I should say it like that. I don't want to say it was terrible or what. It wasn't terrible, but I just thought that it could have been better, if that makes any sense. So, Seco said, no, Bishop got benched in X-Men because he's too complicated according to editorial. Oh, it is what it is. Brooklyn, what's happening? He said, where did the music go? Anita Baker, Babyface. The music left when the artist left, bro. I just don't think that they have a lot of artists out here that are doing compelling music like that anymore. It is what it is. The music industry changed, and like I say, there were, when an artist did some music, they literally would be able to eat off that music, or people would have that music for like 1 to 2 years or whatever. Now, when you talk about someone like Babyface or Anita Baker, they may do an album, and they may not do another album for 4, 5, 6 years. But the music that they would make would be so timeless that, you would enjoy it. People don't consume music the same way. And so when artists are going in and creating these songs or whatever, they're literally making the song for a moment, not a classic, not for it to be timeless, not for it to be something that you can play at the family reunion. They have not done that. This is the weirdest thing ever. My daughter, I'll just share this with you guys. My daughter's class song, and I think she graduated in 2015 or 2014. But their class song was the song, the song with Wiz Khalifa from the Fast and Furious soundtrack. It's been a long time since whatever that song. I don't know the name of it or whatever. But that was their class song. Like, really? Ugh. I mean, it was okay, I guess, but for a class song, this kind of shows you what music is with people. So, NBA Live Girl, what's happening? Ain't seen you in a minute. I don't know much about Shadow Cabinet, but I'm intrigued with the new series coming. Well, I tell you what, NBA Live Girl, what you need to do, I'm gonna give you some homework. Go and find the Shadow Cabinet books and familiarize yourself with the Shadow Cabinet. Shadow Cabinet had a limited series, about maybe 12, 14 books back in the 90s with Milestone 1.0. I think you will enjoy it. Yeah, Shadow Cabinet ain't no joke. They were like the cosmic aspect to Milestone. I think you'll enjoy it. Zell Ray said most of our musical R&B legends are dead now, sadly. Yeah. Seacoast says, well, editorial dumped Black Adam near the end of the run. Priest even said that, so he was left to his own vice. Zell Ray still can't believe Prince died 8 years ago. Yeah, it's been a minute. Don't sing like it was that long. Man, I'll tell you what, if you have a chance, go listen to his last album, Welcome to America. That is an amazing album. That is an incredible Prince album. Incredible. Blur Forever asked, Rich, did you enjoy Cobalt and Zombie books back in the day? Cobalt was okay. Zombie was really my, as far as those books go, Zombie was the better book for me. So, yeah. I mean, Duo is supposed to be kind of the likeness or kind of like Zombie. They kind of switched it up a little bit or whatever, but, Zombie back in the day was good. So he said, what? No greatest love of all at graduation? Look, I graduated in 1986 from high school, and our graduation song was We Are One by Maze. That, my brother, is a graduation song. That is one of the best songs ever, written by one of the best groups ever. And people talk about, groups all the time as far as music groups. I mean, I love the Barcades. I love the Ohio Players. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love, all of these different groups. But Maze is, bruh. Maze, Frankie Beverly, that's family reunions. That's Sundays, evenings at the park. That's Saturdays at the car wash. That's clean up the house. Timeless music. You would be hard pressed to find a better group whose catalog is that staggering. It's only really 2 or 3 groups that I could put to say their catalog is just ridiculous. Maze's catalog, Earth, Wind, and Fire's catalog, and probably some of the Ohio Players stuff is cool. Pericles, before I let go at the cookout. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Zell Racing Funk would get laughed at today. I mean, honestly, you wouldn't have hip hop, most of hip hop without funk. Blurry asked me, better group, Maze or Cameo? Oh, Maze. Sorry, I love Cameo. Shout out to Larry Blackman, but no, it's Maze. It's Maze. I mean, I love some Cameo. Knights of the Sound Table, Alligator Woman. Yeah, I know all of that Cameo stuff. Shake Your Pants, all that. Scott Caesar asks, have you checked out Cape Crusader? It's agenda laced, but it's decent. Definitely missing Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace. Oh, for sure. It's okay. I talked about it briefly earlier, Scott Caesar. It's all right. It's not profound or dope like that. It's definitely, quote unquote, woke, if you want to say it like that, or diverse in some aspects, race swaps or whatever. You get past that, you might be able to enjoy it. But it's the original Batman of the animated series, Kevin Conroy. You won't be able to replace that. It is what it is. Zell Ray says a lot of kids have never been to a cookout. don't even know their families to be invited to a cookout. So hearing that music is foreign to them. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's the times that we live in, man. You know, I don't know. I just, it's hard to be critical of them if they just don't know. If you just don't know, you just don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Bison for Life says, Maze live in New Orleans is the gold standard. That's an amazing album, but don't sleep on the Maze live in LA. That's a dope album too. My favorite Maze song is probably, well, not probably. There's so many. Happy Feelings. That's my favorite Maze song, Happy Feelings. Spy Jenkins with the super chat. Yeah, I read someone Prince put Maze at the top of his list. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, when it comes to those that kind of music or whatever, man, it's just timeless or whatever. It's like you know, with me today as far as how I consume music, it's weird because I'll go into a rabbit hole with certain artists. Like for the last, I would say, couple of months or so, I've been on my Stevie Wonder kick. Songs in the Key of Life, Hotter Than July, Music Aquarium, Talking Book, all of these albums, incredible music. But I like the old Stevie Wonder too. The old 60s Stevie Wonder, uptight, everything's all right. That Stevie Wonder, you know, Fingertips, that Stevie Wonder. Just been really listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder. And of course, I listen to a lot of Hendrix and that kind of thing too on top of it because I just don't do, I love music, period. So I can listen to just about everything. Zell Ray says groups like Barbecue Band, Brothers Johnson, BT Express and Function need to get their respect. Yeah. Confunction is pretty interesting for me. I like the Brothers Johnson as well. Parliament Funkadelic had its thing or whatever. They were kind of the rage at one time. But I guess of the groups of the bands, the funk bands that came out, that, you know, as much as I love them, I'm probably more partial to Ohio Players. Ohio Players. I mean, they had the album covers, of course, everybody knows. But their music, man, very, very, very musicianship. I mean, they had guitar, they had horns, all in their stuff, and that's what I like. As far as funk bands go, I like horns, and so for me, Barcades, you know, them, yeah. Even, you know, Funkadelic, they had some horns, the horny horns, as they would say. Maze covers with Afrofuturism before it was called that. No Gap Band is mentioned is wild. Well, hold on now, Styles says. Gap Band had a few albums. I like Charlie Wilson. My favorite Gap Band song is Party Train. That used to get the party. That used to get the party popping. You know, I love that. I loved Burn Rub on Me. That was a great song. But my favorite thing, that I will say that Sweet Caroline by the Gap Band is one of my favorite covers. That one that they did and Going in Circles are probably my favorites for the Gap Band doing. Yes, H&A says all the boy, everybody get sure to get your boy. That would get the party crunk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Hype Style says Salcom Function, Morris Day at a Time, Zap Band 1 month ago near Dallas. Morris was the headliner. Great music jamming session. Rest in peace, Roger Troutman. Yearning for Your Love is eternal. Yeah. Brick, no doubt. Lakeside Daz Band. You know, the Daz Band had that Dusick by Brick. That's an incredible album. Incredible album. Now, Scott Caesar says Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk stay in my rotation. Timeless. Those guys are the GOATs. Shout out to Joe Henderson and Oscar Peterson as well. Well, you know what's interesting too? I've been on my. I have some. I just bought some Thelonious Monk not too long ago, and some Miles Davis. But I've been on my Wes Montgomery kick of latest for his jazz. I love Wes Montgomery. I love it all, honestly, but Wes Montgomery is kind of drawing me in. Now, as far as jazz, whatever, I love jazz, period, but I have an affinity for piano players and I have an affinity for percussion. So Billy Cobham is like one of my favorite jazz musicians. I love anything that Billy Cobham puts out as far as jazz goes. Earth, Wind and Fire, one of my favorites. Gordon Mahan, that's that Keep Your Head to the Sky. Man, that song, every time I hear that song, it almost makes me cry. I love that song. That song is amazing. Amazing. You know, some people like the regular stuff, you know, Devotion, the Reasons, and that kind. It's cool, but man, ain't nothing like that. Keep Your Head to the Sky. I love that song. Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire. That's the joint. That get the party cracking too. Get the party cracking too. Zap was a moment. I'll say like Zap was a vibe. I mean, they had the dance floor, Do I Diddy, Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker is probably my favorite Zap song. So yeah. He said, "You're going down memory lane with all that great music." I mean, I love music, bro. That's just, you know. So he said, "What is your favorite song by the SOS Band?" Just Be Good to Me. Just Be Good to Me. I said, "No love for Rick James." Well, we got love for Rick James. We do. We got love for Rick James. Love Rick James. Street songs, Throwing Down. Uh, Pericles says, "How about Switch?" Oh, for sure. Anything that's got the Boys brothers in it, I'm with it. I'm for it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, it's a lot of good stuff, man. I mean, it's just it's weird though to where music has gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like with all of that, how did we get here? It's kind of hard to say. Zell Ray says Rick James or Prince. Come on, bro. Come on. Really? That's not even as much as I love Rick James. I mean, that's Prince, bro, all day. If we're talking catalog, I'll say it like that. If we're talking catalog. Now, uh Rick James had this thing where they talked about it in his documentary that was on Showtime, how he would build up a song and he would get the party cracking too with some of his stuff. I mean, he definitely was dangerous in terms of music and percussion and horns and that kind of thing. He was nasty with it. He was definitely nasty with it. So Paul says James Brown. James Brown is listen. There is no funk without James Brown. We know that. But of course, he got a lot of his stuff from, you know, when he started, he was by himself doing this thing and that kind of thing. But as he got on, he had to go get cats like Bootsy Collins to keep him, you know, in the rotation. Because Bootsy and them, they were the next thing, and they were. Uh, it is what it is. So, but they were all special in their own time. Later says, I think we got here because there's no mom and pop radio stations and no more record stores. I think that's part of it, but I also think too that music it doesn't have the meaning or the inspiration it does no more. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? There's no real romance in music these days. And the subject matter in music is so different. Somebody brought up, I think it was War's Slipping in the Darkness. War's catalog is amazing as well. I love War. Slipping in the Darkness. The World is a Ghetto. Why Can't We Be Friends? All Day Music. City, Country City. Those are some incredible songs, concept songs that had meaning. He brought up the Zell brings up Mandrill. Yeah. And James Brown, my favorite. I have a couple of James Brown albums. My favorite James Brown album is a soundtrack. The soundtrack he did for Black Season. That's one of my favorite albums. Pay the Cost to Be the Boss. That's yeah. Gordon says, I love Saturn. That's on the Songs in the Key of Life. Yeah. Yeah. Music, Tomb Raider says, music is more manufactured now. Yeah. Y'all gonna make me go watch the James Brown movie with Chadwick Boseman. I love Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of James Brown, man. He said, everybody got their drunk. You got drunk. They sound good? They make you feel good? Oh, rest in power, man. I miss that brother. Slave was another good group. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, yeah, man, we and I think that it's kind of like what we see to kind of bring this back to comics or to what's going on with AI. I think that that's what we are not necessarily afraid of, but we kind of see on the horizon with AI that the art itself will become manufactured. Funny how we was able to tie that back to that, because you don't have that. These guys, these bands that they had to get together and jam and create these sounds and these concepts or whatever, and it's just a different time. It's just a different time. Zero say James Brown is in a galaxy by himself. I mean, he did his thing. He had a lot of good music, bro. A lot of good music. A lot of good music. A lot of good music. I mean, what I'm saying? But like I said, I like everything, man. I listen to, my palette for music crazy, to be honest with you. Kevin Pitts say the OJs have not been talked about yet. Well, Ship Ahoy, one of my favorite OJ songs, Stairway to Heaven. So yeah, OJ's Four Tops. All of those albums, bro. All of those artists, the music, it's Sir Cam Stanton said, "Bring back love music." Yeah, that's all what that music was, man. Songs in the Key of Life is in my top 10 albums of all times. Brooklyn says, would love to have had Blade take out Kukulkan. Avenging Queen Mother for Wakanda. Well, bro, y'all hang on. Shout out to the Black Panther fan base. OJ, stylistic, dramatics, Isley Brothers. I'm surprised nobody brought the Isley Brothers up. I saw Kevin Greavy posted a post in his Facebook, and he talked about he quoted a lyric, and it was a lyric from the Voyage to Atlantis. And the reason why I knew that lyric is because that's my favorite Isley Brothers albums. Isley Brothers got a lot of dope albums, but this album is from Go For Your Guns. And it's got some funk on there that's just ridiculous, and some ballads on there that's just amazing. So yeah. My favorite artist, though, for those who may or may not know, is Isaac Hayes. I am a Isaac Hayes head. And I just love Isaac Hayes. That dude, talk about music, whew, got a lot of dope music, bro. Imagine going back in time, Styles of Seriousness, telling jazz cats music will one day be made without instruments. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they would probably think you were crazy. Hype style. One artist who classic R&B tends to ignore nowadays is Bobby Womack. I really don't hear his songs anymore like the classics, the throwback station. Nobody wants you when you're down and out. Look, Bobby Womack is that guy. Very shady, but he is that guy. Bobby Womack has done some amazing songs. His cover of California Dreaming is amazing. California Dreaming is an amazing song. Azelle Ray says Al Green was my father's favorite artist. Let me give you an Al Green story. Okay, so Al Green was my grandmother's favorite artist, and my grandmother back in the day, we're talking about when people had component sets or big stereos, big wide stereo, where basically it'd be like a cabinet, and they have the component in the 8-track, all that on the inside, and it would light up, the lights going and everything, 45s and 12 inches. And my grandmother would have a stack of Al Green 45s, and they would just sit and they would play one after the other. I grew up with Al Green. I cannot dislike Al Green. I love Pretty Woman, Unchained Melody, Simply Beautiful. That song there, I tell this to guys. If you want a woman to fall in love with you, if you want a woman to fall in love with you, put on Simply Beautiful. For those of you that are in the chat, if you're married, this is for married people. If you wanna sweet talk your lady, put on Simply Beautiful. Sit up, put Simply Beautiful. I like Love and Happiness as well, but Simply Beautiful is the Al Green song. That's the song. I love Love and Happiness, but Simply Beautiful, that's the song. That will have your wife all over you. I might have to play that tonight. Yo, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Shout out to my man Paul. Yeah, tell you hit the like button. Man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We're hour 40 minutes in. I've had fun tonight, y'all. We're just gonna ask that you guys please remember to check out our channel, our YouTube channel. You can find all kinds of different videos and whatnot on there. So please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend about us. We're going to be in Atlantic Comic Con in a couple of more weeks. 2 weeks from now, we will be down in Norfolk, Virginia, having a good time. And yeah, it's going down. Black Comic Lords will be in the building. Myself, Paul, Derek, the whole crew, Angel, the whole squad's gonna be there. We're gonna have a good old time. We're gonna hang out, you know what I'm saying? Break bread, do our thing or whatever. May sit around. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. My goal, or not my goal, but what I hope to do when I get to Norfolk, Virginia, is to enjoy the con, right? Want to do that, but I just kind of want to sit around and just talk shop, whether it be in the hotel lobby, on the floors, the convention, or wherever. I just want to be somewhere in a chair, sipping on something, and just having a good time. That's what I want to do. I don't know if it's going to happen. That's what I want to do. Because hanging out with Paul and Herschel, I'm pretty sure there will be some shenanigans. I want to be somewhere chilling. Before I get out of here, let me get these last comments. So Zell Ray, he talks about love and happiness. He says, Zell Ray, Simply Beautiful is a good Southern soul music. Yes, sir. Always, forever by Heatwave, no doubt. And Gordon Mahan says, thank Rich, have a nice evening. Yeah, man. AI can't copy soul music. So yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how our conversation, took a turn. Because I feel like this is an example. The music from the past is an example of what you cannot duplicate, what AI cannot duplicate. And I think that that's the message that we need to send to the industry, and somebody needs to tell Colin Kaepernick that art is the human experience. And it gets no bigger and no better than the music that artists create. And when it comes to art, whether it's the written word or the drawing, it gets no better than the guys that we love to watch do it and the gals we love to read about. Like Cheryl Lee, who I hope gets the Black Panther book. Yeah. So with that said, guys, we're going to go ahead and hit you with the benediction. The benediction for tonight is from Proverbs, the 9th chapter, verses 8 through 11. It says, do not rebuke mockers, or they will hate you. Rebuke the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will be wiser still. Teach the righteous, and they will add to their learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For through wisdom, your days will be many, and years will be added to your life. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. Until next time, we say peace. We see you when you see you. Take care of yourselves. We out.